being. This is Holly with woodlandshits.com, and I have Vikki LeBeau here in the studio. How are you, Vikki?
Doing great.
Yay!
Couldn't be better.
Oh, that's awesome. And now, Vikki, you own Texas Last Diet,
I do.
and we've done an interview in the past, and we really wanted to focus this interview today about November being National Diabetes Month, and how some of your products have actually helped, people with diabetes to actually get off their insulin. Like we had mentioned earlier, you're not a doctor, and they would have to take these products in conjunction with whatever is going on, with their doctor, and make sure everything's all kosher. But you have had clients that actually were able to get off their insulin.
Absolutely. And technically it's not the products, it's the life coaching that we teach. So yes, we start you with ideal protein products, but the goal of Texas Last Diet is to get you off the products as soon as possible.
Okay.
And if you follow the protocol, it's repeatable, it's measurable, and it's predictable. So you should be able to get off everything and move on through your doctor's supervision.
Sure.
Through life, eating a well-balanced diet, because we coach you on how to do that.
Nice.
Yes.
And for the first time in history, children may not outlive their parents because diabetes is increasing in children.
Right.
Do you have some prevention tips or anything like that for kids?
Well, for kids, I mean,
for anybody. It's not just for kids.
Yeah, I know that, and I'm a single mom. I have two kids, 11 and 13, and they're amazing. And as I've learned this protocol, even stopping at fast food 2-3 times a week like we do because we're such in a hurry, it's not good for our kids.
Yeah.
And they get, and I hate to say this, but the lunches at school, I mean, even though that they say that those have turned around, they have not.
No, they haven't.
And
I've been to my kid's school and had, I actually bought the lunch there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what my kid is eating?
Yeah. And it's just a shame because, we thought that was all going to be changed, and it's not. And we need to really take charge of what we're feeding our children. And I'll have a lot of dieters come in and they'll say, well, I need to cook differently for my kids. Well, no, you don't. We educate you on how to make things that your kids are going to like. My kids were on the My Lifestyle eating program, and they did not even know it.
Right.
And they still are eating the same way that I eat. Yeah, sure, I'll throw in a carbohydrate and potatoes and rice and things like that for them, but I've pretty much taken those out of my diet. And the reason I have is because I'm not nearly as active as they are. But when you start hitting those fast food restaurants on the way home, those are what's killing our kids, and as well as it's hurting us as well. Our pancreas can't keep up with that. We start making too much sugar. I mean, it's just a roller coaster. We start getting heavy, start making fat, and it's just, before we know it, it's out of control. And they're battling insulin resistance, and they're getting sick at 12, 13, 14. And not only with diabetes, I mean, we're seeing more and more cancer coming out now too. And it's been proven. You can go online and you can look everywhere. I mean, there's study over study over study showing now, once we have body fat, I mean, and we're feeding it with sugars, that it's causing, and it could start feeding our cancer. If we start taking away those sugars and bringing down our levels of insulin, we're going to be running a better machine, and their kids are going to study better, they're going to sleep better, your way you get along with your children are going to be better once you take those sugars down to a normal level of 6 teaspoons a day.
Wow.
And you're going to be shocked. If you start really watching your sugars, you will be so surprised at how much sugar is in things. I was surprised in just a regular whole wheat roll that I made my sandwiches on, the sugars that were in that. And once you start reading labels, most folks that I get in, we think we're eating right. We really do. I mean, I would get up in the morning and I would have my yogurt, my banana, and I was 200 pounds, and I was thinking that was great. But that was 6 teaspoons of sugar right there to start my day. I had no idea. But I'd been told that was great. And I was hungry all day long. It just was this perpetual thing. By the time I figured it out, on my daily average, I would be between 16 and 20 teaspoons of sugar a day.
Wow.
That's not normal. And that's why we start having to take insulin, why we get get diabetic, why people go into pre-diabetes. I mean, there's just so many reasons that we think we're doing good and we're really not.
Right. My goodness.
Yeah.
Now, I recently saw that you were featured on Fox 26 News.
That was exciting. I love those guys down there.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, we talked about cancer, and it was Cancer Awareness Month last month. So
Sure.
we talked about how things are hidden. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup came up because I know, don't give me that face.
No.
Don't tell me.
La, 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 la.
I know, right? It was one of my favorites too, because you automatically think peanut butter, chocolate. Can't be anything wrong with that, right?
Right.
Well, there's 2 ingredients in there that actually is known to cause cancer. Now, you have to eat them in larger quantities, but if we know that about the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and then it could be in our Twinkie, or it could be in our, hamburger bun. I mean, we just don't know where we're getting it all. So that starts adding up in our body, and I truly believe, as well as several other people, that those are things that are really affecting our society nowadays, all the way from our kids to us.
Sure.
So
Yeah, trick-or-treating was insane. My kids, we weighed the candy, 30 pounds.
oh my goodness,
30 pounds of candy. I had to hide it.
it's crazy.
I had to.
The girls actually went to one house and they were handing out full-size candy bars. The girls just thought that was the coolest
Oh,
thing.
that's always a cool house. We have
Right.
one in our neighborhood. It's an older lady, and she does the same thing.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's crazy. So again, guys, this is Vikki LeBeau with Texas Last Diet. Where can they find out more information about you and what you do and all that good stuff?
On my website, it's texaslastdiet.com. We also have a Facebook page, and
Oh, good.
that's Texas Last Diet. And it's really neat because I always teach different things or have motivational things. Like I posted the ketchup, just the regular ketchup bottle.
Yeah.
And there was a fellow online, he did a YouTube video where he was talking about how much sugar is in our ketchup. And you can watch that, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's almost half the bottle is sugar.
No
Did
way.
you know that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That's
But-
like a staple in my house.
Well,
That's horrible.
right after that, I posted how to make sugar-free ketchup. So there you
Really?
go. You can make it. It's going to cost less. And that's another thing is once you learn Ideal Protein and then you learn the lifestyle afterwards, your shopping bill is going to go down substantially because you're going to save money by buying all the canned food and the packaged foods. That's I don't have very many cans or jars or anything now that I throw away because everything I buy is fresh and it's meat and it's produce, and we make mayonnaise out of eggs, and who does that anymore? Not
Wow.
very many people. And I know we don't have time, but it really, if you really think about it, it only takes about 10 minutes and it could change your life. And if you do 10 minutes a day one day, 10 minutes a day the next day, really it's the quality instead of just the quantity and trying to hurry, rush. Like
Right.
and I'm guilty of it too.
Oh yeah, no, I am
So,
for sure.
and they can call me directly if they just want to talk with me.
Okay.
It's 936-230-4419.
Okay.
I have folks that want to lose 10 or 15 pounds, and sometimes I'll just say, hey, listen, let's take a look at your diet. These are the things you need to get out to get that off, and not even get you started on Ideal Protein. But then there's other people that are just like, I want to be able to follow the program. That's how I work. And then we wean you off the program and you move on to the lifestyle change. We do have recipes available for you. I had a lady that talked with me and said, I only have about 10 minutes a night to make my dinner. I'm like, great, let me come out with every single night, 7 days a week. I'll have one recipe, super easy, 7 ingredients, and you can make those and be done with it. And she's like, oh my gosh, you would do that for me? Yes, I will help you as much as I can to help you change your life, because it's really affected me and the way that I relate with my kids. I have so much more energy. I'm an older mom. I'm not all 30 and young like you guys, and even 40. I'm a little bit older than that. So to have an 11 and 13-year-old, I have to really keep up and pay attention to what I'm doing. And
Sure.
I'll be more than happy to help you have more energy as well. So
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah.
Well, Vikki,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for coming in and giving us some tips about, National Diabetes Month, and I'm really excited for you. You're moving mountains, girl.
I love what I do, and I love people's lives. How they change them, and it's not me. And I know people always say, well, you're such a great coach, and it's really the person that comes in. If you're ready to do it and you're ready to educate yourself, because we have been taught so long, so wrong, that we just need somebody to say, hey, you're supposed to eat this, not that.
Right.
And have that this be the right thing instead of not the right thing. And that's what I was learning. I was learning, fruit is good for me. Oh, yogurt's good for me. And it is, but not when I was 200 pounds, it wasn't. So we just teach you how to eat it right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much, Vikki. It's always a pleasure to have you in the studio. And guys, go to her website, check out her Facebook page. I've been following your Facebook page. There's some really awesome stuff on there.
Thank you.
So thank you again for coming in.
No problem. Anytime. I enjoy it.
Awesome.